My name's Guy Kestivan, and today I'm going to talk to you about a product line that's been in mountain biking for almost as long as I have. The Crud Catcher, and specifically the latest Crud XL Fender, which you'll have seen me use in loads of bike videos, not only because I'm sponsored, but also because it's a brilliant way to keep your bike clean, keep your face clean, and in my case, keep my cameras clean as well, so even on the dirtiest days, you get a clear view of the trails. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk through this latest XL Fender, which is the one I use. I'm going to talk a bit about the rear fender, the road fender, and then if you're struggling to get to sleep, we'll have a little bit of a story time about why Pete Tompkins, the guy behind Crud Products, or Sensible Products, and the Crud range, is an absolute geezer, proper legend in the mountain bike community, and just a thoroughly decent human being running a thoroughly decent human-centered company. Okay? So, Crud XL Fender, like I say, latest product in the range. It's actually been around for a few years now. It's a dual compound, or dual material, so all comes in one piece. The plastic section there, you've got front guard, rear guard, and then you've got rubber bits moulded in, front and rear. So they sit against the front of your brace and then they come up behind the brace. And the idea is because these are flexible, there's no way that mud can get jammed in underneath them and get in the way. Unlike a guard that runs all the way under your brace, this has got that flexibility to move it out of the way. And the same way, these legs here don't protect the top of your seals in the same way that some other forks do. They at least mean that those seals are open so you can rinse them off, wash them off really easily, and they don't keep dirt trapped in against the seals. So, but the major advantage, especially for me or for anyone who's, taking guards on and off their bike, or they have to take the wheel off their bike to get it into storage or into the back of a car, is the fact that these are just so super easy to fit. So here goes nothing. Just literally sit it on the wheel like that, get it through, raise it up. I mean, position it in terms of height, depending on obviously the size of your tyre. So you've got soft neoprene sections in the back there to protect the fork, and then you've just got an O-ring top and bottom to hook around the fork leg. On modern forks with a pressure release valve, you can actually hook them around those, but if not, there's different position hooks. That's right. In the back of the guard there, and so you can tension it for different diameter forks. And that's literally as simple as that. The only modification you might have to make is that on some Fox forks, because of where that hose guide is positioned, what I normally do is just unbolt the hose guide on Fox forks and you'll be absolutely fine. But otherwise you can see dead center on the tyre, plenty of coverage at the front to stop it spraying up and coming back over into your face, and then ton of coverage at the back, so that's all the way down the down tube if you've got internal storage, bottles, that kind of thing. Just keeps the whole front end of the frame a lot cleaner when you're riding. Weighs about 200 grams, so it's not mega heavy. If you're going to leave it on for a long time, what I do is just pop it off occasionally, rinse in behind it so you don't get grit build up, and then you can get a little bit of movement, will eventually cause some scratching over the time. But in normal use, zero problems at all. And like I say, the fact that you could just whip it on and off, super easy. Plus, although it's obviously designed for mountain bike fitment, I've actually used it on gravel bikes as well. It fits on a RockShox Rudy fork, but also if you've got thick legs, a carbon thick leg fork on your gravel bike, you can modify it for them. What I did find is in some circumstances you need to just trim the rubber a bit, because obviously it then sits up against this crown, so you might need to trim that rear bit of rubber, but it's literally seconds with scissors to get that sorted. Because, well, I mean, interesting, Pete and I were going to work on a gravel mudguard set. It was very clever. It looked like a Rubik's cube, Rubik's snake thing, but in the end we realised that if you really wanted proper protection, you could just run one of these. And then also in the range, you've got this Crud XL rear fender, this kind of Cosworth style whale tail that just sits on your seat posts, and it comes with a range of different clips and different spacers, so that will fit all bikes. And then, whoops, sorry, you've got the Crud Road Racer as well, which again, super easy to fit, no tools, actually uses yachting Velcro, which I didn't even know was a thing, but that's actually how super strong like patches of Velcro, well, what do they call it, hook and loop. Well, it's actually, they're like little mushrooms that interlock without getting too geeky about it. And those things are strong enough to hold the fixtures onto transatlantic yachts when they would need to move them about for different rigs. And so, and also fits super close into your wheel there. So minimum spray, very light, dead easy to get on and off, just like the Crud XL Fender. Should cost 30 quid, but it won't take you long on Google. You'll have to find it cheaper than that. And while you can't buy them direct from Crud unless you're outside the UK, obviously shops online will sell them to you, or just ask in your local shop, as it says on the website. Used by all sorts of mountain bike dignitaries like Danny Hart and Rob Warner. They're both on the website, and just because those guys have been around in the scene as long as Pete. So here's the little story time. Crud starts with Pete Tompkins being a window cleaner in Brighton, wanting to keep his new Diamondback clean, and just make something out. I mean, a lot of people were like cutting up plastic cartons and just putting them on the down tube of the bike. And he basically went to a local tooling firm and went, I want to do something more official. Got it made. Huge success, not least because he was about the first person, certainly in the UK, to actually pay top athletes or influencers, not that they were called that back then, but top riders, if they got a picture of the Crud catcher into the magazine, normally MBUK or MBI, he would give them a photo bonus. And then if you got it on the cover, even more cash. So, and the reason I'm talking about this product first is one of they do sponsor, and Pete does sponsor the channel. And that was kind of a massive moment for me because he was the first person who went, Kez, really like what you're doing on YouTube. Can I sponsor you? And I was like, oh my God, maybe, crikey, that's how it works. I mean, and yeah, he was the first person on board supporting the channel. So I'm hugely grateful for him for that. And, continue. Not only is it a great system to use, because obviously I'm testing loads of different bikes all the time. There are loads of other, there's options from RRP, Pro Guard, whatever, all have the different strengths and weaknesses. But in terms of a guard that you can put on super quick and off again, it's absolutely superb, especially in changeable weather like at the moment. One of the few, it can, if you're really slapping down stuff, you'll occasionally hear on videos, if I've run it too close to the tyre, you'll hear a little bit of slap on the front, but that's literally the only problem. And the fact it doesn't clog, however filthy it gets, is really useful, particularly downhill racing. I think we've already seen some races this season where people literally, their wheels have stopped going round on the front because if the fender's under that fork arch there's much less room, and that just is a non-issue with this product. So where were we in Pete's story? So anyway, he starts doing this, 91, huge success. Then he starts looking around at other like problems. If you remember the DCD, this little cotton reel on like a little metal frame, and that went on your chainstay and stopped your chain derailing in the days of very early suspension, or hardtails being used for downhill. That was kind of the must-have accessory back then. There's a Crud claw, which is like, it's like a little sort of rake that raked the muck out of your cassette when we were released using small, closely spaced cassettes. And the mud used to get packed between them, so that was a great little idea. And I mean, he was the first person to do a proper kind of surf-style mountain bike film, Dirt, in 1995 with, Rob Warner, with P.E., Jason McCroy, Dave Hemming, Scott Dommett, I think, was in it. Literally just filmed on the farm in North Yorkshire, where he still lives. And that's the other great thing about Crud. Pretty much everything he does is super local. But I mean, it's really easy for him to outsource his production out to China, Taiwan, wherever, and probably make a lot more profit. But he's always used local tool fabricators to make the tools for each different design as they've changed the range. And all these Crud catchers and Crud XL Fenders are all made just down the road for him on the North Yorkshire coast. And it's just I've chatted to him and his wife about it. I mean, Jamie Tompkins, his son, does a lot of the design now for the products, and it's mostly local mums working there, and they've all got a certain amount they need to make, and if they charge through it, then they can go home early on the Friday, or not even coming in Friday at all, but they kind of work, they go in early, and then they work until the kids need picking up from school, and it's just really, Pete's just always been a super sort of humane guy. I mean, he's super chill. He's pretty much riding and surfing every day. He's got over 70, under 70. He's around 70 at least. Looks absolutely ripped. Looks like most of it would want to have looked like when we were 20, and is just an absolute legend. He was the guy, if you don't know if you've seen any of the Martin Ashton stuff, he was the guy who got Martin his first adaptive bike after Martin broke his spine and paralysed himself. He just turned up with the bike. So here, Martin, you need one of these. He's just always been in the background of the UK mountain biking scene since the very, very early days, just doing the right thing. And in terms of keeping the muck off your face in a really simple, durable, easy to attach and detach style, then that's exactly what this Crud XL Fender does today. And yeah, I'm not even at all ashamed to say I'm delighted to be sponsored by Pete, because I think he does a great job, and I think he's a great human being as well, if that matters to you, because it matters to me. So, massive thanks to Pete for supporting the channel, for supplying me with these Crud XL Fenders. If you've got any questions about them, just get busy in the comments below. Massive thanks to my other industry supporters who followed Pete's lead and come on board to support the channel. They're listed at the end, and if you could support them when you're shopping as well, that would be mint. Massive thanks to my Patreon subscribers who buy me a virtual cup of tea and a biscuit every month by subscribing to my Patreon channel, and they get early, exclusive, extended, ad-free edits as a thank you. But if you can't stretch to that for the moment, then press any number of the buttons below, subscribe, click for notifications, give this a thumbs up, like, tell your mates about the channel, and hopefully they will enjoy what I do and grow the channel in the same way that you watching this far has done today. But for now, I've been Guy Kestevan on Guy Kes TV, talking about the Crud XL Fender, designed and built in the UK by a thoroughly decent bloke and a team of local people.